very excited to have all of you guys here today. We not only have Police Chief Crease and some of the officers that work, we have some district people here, we have administration, but we also have CBS News, the Daily Herald, and the Village here because this is really exciting. You guys have worked really, really hard on trying to persuade, our police chief to get that canine emotional support therapy dog. And you're going to be here to talk a little bit more about it. So let's give the entire Vernon Hills Police Department a round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Korish. Thank you all for inviting me yet again to come visit with the 6th grade language arts program. This is now the 6th time that I've done this, and I really enjoy this opportunity to meet you, to talk to you, and to talk to you about your writing skills and your papers. And for the last 5 years, the writing assignment has been why the Vernon Hills Police Department should have a patrol canine, a patrol dog, an aggressive patrol dog. How many here have had older brothers or sisters write that paper? Raise your hand if your older siblings wrote that paper. Several older siblings have wrote that paper. And have they talked to you about me coming after writing that paper and talking to them? Did anyone tell, what did your older brother or sister say about my visit? I'm sorry, I'm really having trouble hearing you.
Really loud.
Really loud.
So, she told us that you read very few of the letters.
Mm-hmm.
And that it was always for a canine.
It was always for a canine? And did any of your older siblings tell you what I said about Vernon Hills having a police canine? Does the Vernon Hills Police Department have a canine? It does not. And in fact, I had to come explain to all of your 6th grade classmates last year and the 5 years before why the Vernon Hills Police Department doesn't have a patrol canine. And it's not because a patrol canine isn't a good police tool, it is. But really, we just don't have enough work for a patrol canine in Vernon Hills to justify having a dog here all the time. But this year, your assignment was a little different, and we're going to talk about that assignment in a few minutes. Your papers about why Vernon Hills Police Department should have an emotional support dog. And instead of coming and telling you no, I'm here to say yes. Your papers convinced me that the Vernon Hills Police Department should have a emotional support dog. So I've decided to ask the mayor and the village board for support, and they've said yes. And I'm here to tell you, we will have an emotional support dog. Now, your next question, I know, is when? When will we have an emotional support dog? Well, I'm here to announce that this morning we are introducing for the first time Possifer Billie. Can we have Possifer Billie join us? Come here, Billie. Come here, Billie. Good job. All right, so this is Possifer Billie, and this is some of our team members at the Vernon Hills Police Department. And Possifer Billie is going to make her way around to see all of you today. So you can stay in your seats, and she'll come around and say hi. If you don't want to say hi to Possifer Billie, you can just turn your back to her, and she won't bother you at all. But she's a fully trained therapy dog who's here to help us connect and enjoy. And we're going to talk about that. But it really is, your papers pushed me over and made this decision really, really easy that we should have a therapy dog. So we have moved very quickly and feel very lucky to do this. So Miss Melissa and Miss Andy are going to walk around. They're going to hand something out to you. But we're going to do that slowly, so wait for the dog to come to you before you try and get up to see Billy. And then I want to talk to you more about your papers, okay? So where is, I know this is going to be hard, but let's have a conversation. Where is Zero? Stand up for me, Zero. Thank you. So now many of you made these points in your papers, but Zero, really, here's what I liked about your paper is that you started out with a compliment. If you're trying to convince someone, persuade them to make a decision, one of the best ways to get their attention is start with a compliment, and you did. I mean, you said that Vernon Hills is a wonderful place to live, but what if we could even make it better? Thank you for that. You can have a seat. You were, so, and again, several of you made that point, but I think that's really important. Where's Patrick? Patrick. Patrick, stand up. Guess what my first name is? Same name. It's a great name. All right, so Patrick did, like many of you, relied on research for this. You didn't just try and convince me, you added some facts. And I thought what I really liked about your research was you connected research to a similar police department. In fact, you talked about the Buffalo Grove Police Department and their experience with the wellness dog. Well, that's right next door. It's a similar police department. It was easy for me to look at that and say, oh, if it works for them, it probably is going to work for us. So great job, Patrick. Tyler, where's Tyler Kim? Tyler, stand. Tyler. So one of the things I liked about Tyler's paper is the statement that a therapy dog could just brighten someone's day. Well, guess what? We've only had Billy in the station for a couple days. And I was in the lunchroom, a little smaller than this, but I was in the lunchroom with 4 police officers a couple days ago, and we're talking about something, we're standing up, and out of nowhere, Billy just goes running down the hallway. And you know what everyone did? We all laughed. It was so much fun to just see Billy run down the hallway. Otherwise, here's 5 police officers sitting around. There was no reason for us to put a smile on our face, but we stopped and had just a great time because of this presence. So thank you, great point. Olivia, great, hi Olivia. Olivia, I really like the fact, and this is important in your persuasive paper, don't hide from the truth, right? There's challenges that come with new programs, and Olivia recognized some of those challenges. But you also offered solutions. So you didn't just, and this, one of the challenges she highlighted was, how do you care for a dog that's going to live at the police station, right? How do you do that? Well, how we have learned to do that, because some of your papers highlighted is, you didn't just focus on the dog, you focused on this as a program. This is a team. This is not one dog, this is not one police officer. We have a team now that we're calling the Emotional Support Unit, with multiple employees receiving training on how to do just what we're doing today, or bring Billy out to help in other ways. So caring after hours, it's a challenge, right? So don't ignore it in your paper, address it and offer solutions. Great job, appreciate it, Olivia. Mariana and many others, but you made a great point of calling out some real challenges that we face in policing. And I'm sorry that you had to read articles in your research about this, about PTSD. Who knows what PTSD is? Yeah, unfortunately, you all know what it is. And it's real. And the health concerns, not just PTSD, but High blood pressure. A lot of police officers have high blood pressure because of the stress they go through every day. And recognizing that these dogs help police officers recognize. And one of the things that you said, Mariana, that I hadn't thought of before, the dog can actually help someone that doesn't even know they have a problem yet. And I thought that was so insightful. Great job. Thank you. So, Anastasia? Anastasia, I'm sorry. You made a similar point in your paper, maybe because you're sitting next to her, you guys are friends, and but I really like the fact that you said that Billie can help police officers connect with people. And this is a really important point of this animal. So think about a patrol canine. When you see a police officer car that says canine sticker on the back door, what does the door also usually say? It says police canine. What else does it say? What's your name?
Doesn't it say like stay back?
That's exactly what it says, Katie. You're spot on. That message is stay back, right? What does this dog's vest say on it? Pet me. So in a time when policing is a tough job, and policing requires trust building. We have to have a community trust with everyone in the community. And in Vernon Hills, we are very lucky that most people in the community trust our officers. But it's nothing we take for granted. We work on that every day. And a wellness dog like this is an important tool to help break down those barriers and build relationships with the community. So you're going to see Billie coming out to all kinds of public events and walking around with police officers with a message of pet me, come say hi, let's have a conversation. And that's a great, great tool. It really is. And I'm glad you made the connection on that. So there was also a point that was made by several of you about the cost of the dog. And I won't call out anyone in particular, but there was a unique suggestion that a therapy dog, I could ask our officers to help pay for the dog, or maybe they wouldn't mind if I took a little bit out of each of their paychecks. I think they would mind, but I appreciate you all realizing there's an expense with it. With that being said, again, working in a community like Vernon Hills, I was able to quickly, you just wrote these letters last month, and I've been working hard on this, and I've talked to the mayor and each of our trustees, and they have all said they support this, they support the expense of this. And so fortunately in Vernon Hills, we don't have to worry about how to pay for Billie. Billie's already been paid for. And because Billie is a rescue, but fully trained, so she was taken from a puppy as a rescue and fully trained for over a year, we think what we're going to seek is help in supporting other organizations that help with rescue dogs. So we haven't sorted all of that out yet because this is the first morning we've ever announced Billie to the community. So you guys are getting the very first. You're going to see on the card that you have that Billie has her own social media. We are going to turn that on in the next hours. And so we're going to see where the communication goes from there. But we do think there's an opportunity for some fundraising. But we fortunately don't need to raise those funds on behalf of paying for Billie, because Billie's paid for. So those are the big points that I wanted to make about your papers, but I imagine you might have some questions for me. Before we do that, I think your principal is going to recognize Billie as a member of the school staff as well. Please.
Yes, thank you so much. Let's get another big round of applause. And really, let's give yourselves a big round of applause. We're so proud of all of the letters that you submitted, and we're able to make this happen and come to life. We do have an official Hawthorne badge And it is for Officer Billie. So his picture is on there. When he comes to visit us, he will be able to wear his badge. And then I also know Mrs. Corish has something to present as well.
Yeah, we also want Billie to be an Eagle member, so we made a cute little bandana for Billie so that when she comes to visit our schools, Billie can be an eagle just like we are and soar high, right?
Thank you so much. All right, so I imagine there's some questions, and I think we have a few minutes for questions. Who's got a question for me or one of the staff? Yes, what's your name?
Alex.
Alex. What's your question?
Is Billie a good boy?
Billie is a good girl. Billie has been a wonderful addition to the police department so far and has not gotten in any trouble except once stole my empty yogurt cup out of my garbage. So that's on me. That's on me. I'm going to have to learn how to put the yogurt cups after I eat them into a garbage can that Billie can't get in. But Billie otherwise has been excellent. Another question. What's your name? Francesca. What's your question?
By any chance, do you just plan on having Officer Billie, or are you going to add another?
Yeah, this is a great question. I will tell you, before I read your papers, I only thought that the solution was one dog, and many of your papers make the suggestion that a team of therapy dogs might be appropriate. So the honest answer is I don't know, but I will tell you, before reading your papers in recent weeks, I wouldn't have even thought of it. So that's one of the reasons I love these conversations. Yes, what's your name? Veronica, what's your question? I'm going to ask, how old is Officer Billie?
She is a little bit over 2 years old. She turned 2 in January. So she's still a puppy.
So we have a birth date, right? Is it the first of the year?
Yep.
Yes. And we're going to celebrate her birthday. You'll hear about it. What's your name?
How long did, I'm Mariana.
Mariana. Of course, I remember.
How long does the training for a therapy dog take?
This therapy dog took over a year of intense training where the team that we partnered with had the dog. Now, we didn't know we were going to get Billie, but they knew there was going to be some police department that called them one day and said, we need a therapy dog. And so they trained them round the clock, and we're lucky that they just came up last week, delivered the dog, trained some of our staff, and we're lucky that they had one ready, because if not, I wouldn't be here today with the dog. I might be here telling you we're going to do it, but I wouldn't be introducing Officer Billie. You had a question. What's your name? Rav? Oh, Rav. What's your question?
I have two questions.
Okay.
One is, how is he that big if he's just 2 years old?
Sure. Okay. So dogs grow pretty quick. Dogs tend to grow to full size within about the first 6 months of their lives. What's your second question?
When is the next time Billie's going to come?
When is the next time Billie's going to come to the school? That's a question we're going to get a lot. Let me tell you that your school resource officer, Officer Casey, have you guys met Officer Casey, right? She is also one of the trained handlers for Billie. So Officer Casey will be bringing Billie by your school at other visits and the other schools in the district. I promise she will be. I don't know when. I think we have time for a couple more questions. Yes, in the back. Okay, I think the question is, where is she going to be? Where is she going to work? She's going to work all throughout the village of Vernon Hills. So she's going to live every day at the police station, but every night she goes to bed in her kennel, a nice quiet office space so she can sleep like your dogs want to sleep every night. But if in the middle of the night she's needed, and let me tell you, this has already happened. I'm so glad you asked this question, because I almost forgot to tell you that Thursday of last week, in one day, Billie worked 2 jobs. The first job was we had to arrest a young lady, a person in their mid-20s that had done something bad, driven very dangerously and hurt somebody, and we had to arrest her. And we had her in our custody, brought her to the police station, And as you can imagine, she was very, very, very upset to the point where she was having trouble breathing. And we do our best to calm people down, but guess what Billie did? Billie calmed her down. So we were able to bring Billie into the room where she was seated, and he was able to crawl on her lap, and in a few minutes had this person that was very, very upset and is still in trouble, but we didn't want her to feel bad. It's not what we want to do. We want people to feel good. Later that same day, Billie was at the station ready to work when another one of our officers made an arrest for someone related to illegal drugs. And this person had their 6-year-old child with them. So we had to arrest the person, but now we also have to care for a 6-year-old. And this happens sometimes in police work. But again, we bring the 6-year-old to our lobby area that's nice and comfortable, and we could talk to the 6-year-old, but guess what we did? We brought Billie in to spend time with the 6-year-old while we had to wait for grandma to come bring the 6-year-old home. So those are just 2 examples in the first. And so really the bottom line, I'm here to tell you, I loved your papers, and what your papers and our experience in just a couple days have shown me is I regret waiting as long as we did. We should have done this sooner. So I think that about wraps it up. I know I'm going to take one more question because I haven't heard from you yet, and you've got a question.
I know this is a kind of silly question, but will you be dressing Officer Billie for Halloween?
Oh, that's a great, see? Those are the kind of suggestions that I don't think of, but because we're having this interaction, I think that's a great idea.
I'm thinking an eagle.
Maybe a little contest about what Billie should be dressed as Halloween might be something that you guys do a little survey about. We'll see. That's a great idea. We have one more question. What's your name?
What kind of breed is Billie?
Oh, Billie is a Labrador mix, so we don't know exactly. I think we'll probably have her DNA tested. I will tell you this. What no one asked about is this lead that Billie has on her snout. That's not a muzzle. I don't want anyone leaving here today thinking that Billie needs to wear a muzzle, because she doesn't. This is just a training lead, because even though Billie has been through a year of training, she's in our field training officer program. So until we get really, really good at reading her and understanding her, that training lead helps us control her. And she knows when that training lead comes on, it's time to work. So I'm going to wrap it up there.